Bad news for Shakur Stevenson. I got a question. Why is Shakur Stevenson fighting somebody in his next fight worse than his little bro, Keyshawn Davis? Now, let's look at it. Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, both fighters were with Top Rank. Both fighters are U.S. Olympians that represented America in the Olympics, different classes. Both fighters have talent. Both fighters are Black American fighters. Both fighters have a silver medal from the Olympics. Yet, Keyshawn Davis, in my honest and humble opinion, I feel like his next fight is a step-up challenge, which we'll get into in this video, whilst Shakur, who is a bit older than Keyshawn Davis, he's fighting a guy coming off of a loss, and a knockout loss at that. So let me start from the top. In case you haven't heard, Keyshawn Davis will be taking on Gustavo Lemos. It's a Friday fight, November 8th, hometown fight in Norfolk, Virginia, where, you know, the area from where Keyshawn originates, right? And I know some people are thinking, they're like, I don't know who Gustavo Lemos is. Listen, if you don't know who he is, then you need to watch my channel a little bit longer. Gustavo Lemos is the fighter that just fought against Richardson HItchins and arguably, depending on who you ask, beat Richardson HItchins. So I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, and on my channel, being the best in the business, and it's not even close. We don't pull no punches. I give it to you real. I give it to you fair, no diddy. And, you know, we gets deep. Again, no diddy, pause. So at the end of the day, I have these questions. Why is Shakur Stevenson, who's older, who's kind of been on the scene, turned pro before Keyshawn Davis, why is his fight considerably lesser than his little bro, Keyshawn Davis, right? Shakur left Top Rank, and this is a Top Rank fight. So to team up with Eddie Hearn and Riyadh Season and go that route, what is the real benefit for Shakur Stevenson's career? You were with Top Rank, and it doesn't seem like that relationship was peachy keen, but at the end of the day, I would say, understand the American boxing scene better than Eddie Hearn and Riyadh Season, right? Because it was Riyadh Season that thought, hey, despite Bob Arum, again of Top Rank, suggesting that Terrence Crawford loses money in the sport of boxing, we'll just put even more money behind a 36, going to be 37-year-old Terrence Crawford, who's not going to give us the extras. He's not going to give us this incredible build-up and pre-fight and hilarious or shocking interviews. That's not his bag. Crawford is a great fighter, but they decided to go against the grain, and despite heeding previous warnings from PBC. Now, PBC didn't outright say anything about Crawford, but given that when Crawford was trying to negotiate with Errol Spence, they said it was difficult dealing with Crawford because basically his expectations of what he wanted, it required Errol Spence to budge, right? And give in to make that fight happen because his expectations aren't realistic. Riyadh Season said, let's put him in a soccer stadium in LA where that's not really where his market is. And again, Bob Arum told you he lost money with Terrence Crawford. Or Riyadh Season putting Shakur Stevenson, who received flack for his last two fights, putting him in with a domestic level former champion moving up in weight coming off a knockout loss. I don't see the vision. Kudos to Top Rank. They got Keyshawn Davis at a younger age than what Shakur is right now, stepping up with Gustavo Lemos. Again, Lemos, I watched this fight in real time with Richardson HItchins, and this was at 140 pounds. Richardson HItchins is an Olympian, and you know he has skill. And Lemos gave Richardson HItchins pretty much all he can handle, and some people think he even fought the fight that he needed to win on that given night, even though the judges didn't see it that way. But it was an Eddie Hearn card, and Richardson HItchins is an Eddie Hearn fighter. So for him to be coming back down to weight, which I think he can still make, and fighting Keyshawn Davis and Keyshawn taking on a guy like that, this is the best name on his resume. I got to give props to Top Rank and Keyshawn Davis for taking this as a hometown fight. Fast forward to the future, or on the flip side of the coin, you have Shakur Stevenson, who's an Olympian, as I said, older than Keyshawn, and he's fighting a guy coming up in weight and a guy coming off of a loss. To me, that's a bad look, because Keyshawn Davis is actually the opposite. He's fighting a guy with power that was fighting at 140 and gave the top 140 pounder, who's a mandatory with the IBF at 140 pounds, gave him issue, and he has a rugged style similar to kind of like an unpolished Maidana. So props to Top Rank for getting this done. That's my question. Why is Shakur fighting lesser comp than his little bro Keyshawn? Let me know in the comment section.